My heart sank when she said, "Throw the wine glass." After months of sewing her dream dress, I can still hear the shattering sound. I had worked tirelessly, the fabric dancing between my fingers, each stitch a labor of love. I crafted it for her, my best friend, Sarah. The bodice fit like a second skin, delicate lace framing her shoulders, shimmering threads glistening under the soft light. I had envisioned her in a twirling, laughter echoing through the air, a moment frozen in time, but that night? It was like the sky cracked open. We were celebrating her upcoming wedding, the wine flowing like our anticipation. The table was adorned with wildflowers, their colors vibrant against the mismatched china. I should have felt joy. Instead, my chest tightened, adrenaline coursing through me like venom. Something was off. I could feel the heaviness in the air like the silence before a storm. Her eyes, usually bright, were clouded with doubt. "I don't believe in this anymore," she whispered, her voice trembling. My heart raced. Could I have misread the signs? Her love for Jason was supposed to be a fairy tale. But the cloud of worry loomed. I had seen the way she glanced at him, the moments when his laughter didn't reach her eyes. Then, amid the surreal chaos, she grabbed the wine glass, hot red Merlot swirling like blood. Her trembling hand was shaking as she brought it closer to the edge. "I can't do this," she choked out, tears threatening to spill. "I need to let go." I could feel the room holding its breath. "Sarah!" I yelled, panic clawing at my throat. I reached out, but it was too late. The glass slipped from her fingers, time slowing as it arced through the air, the crashing sound, a final punctuation on the night. Broken glass. Broken dreams. A gasp echoed around us, muffled whispers spreading like wildfire among our friends. I felt my vision blur with tears. This wasn't just about the glass. This was a fracture beneath the surface. Her impending marriage, the pressure, the expectations. I watched her fall apart in front of me, and I was powerless. "What are you doing?" My voice trembled too, thickening with fear. "Can I still change my mind?" She whispered, her eyes searching mine for answers I didn't have. My gut twisted. Was she truly going to walk away from all she had? My heart thudded, a desperate hope mixed with dread. What would happen next? Hey, before we continue with this amazing story, I need to give you an important heads up. Many subscribers have reported that YouTube unsubscribed them without warning. Take a quick second to check the red button below to make sure you're still subscribed to the channel. I'd hate for you to miss any of the exclusive content coming soon. And while you're there, smash that like button, it really helps me out with the algorithm. Oh, and tell me in the comments, which city are you watching from? I love getting to know every amazing person who's part of this community. Your participation makes all the difference. Let's connect. The shards of glass crunched underfoot as our friends buzzed into nervous whispers, their shocked gazes darting between Sarah and me. I could hear some of them stifle a gasp, others exchanged uneasy glances. I felt as though the room itself was holding its breath, waiting for her to make the next move, to cast the final spark that would either ignite a new flame or consume everything around us. "Can I still change my mind?" Her voice was barely a whisper, but the weight of her question hung in the air like a dense fog. I took a step closer, urgency flooding my senses. "Of course, you can," I said, though doubt gnawed at me with fierce teeth. Who was I to say that to her? Wasn't this the culmination of a journey she had embarked on? Jason, her fiancé, stood at a distance, his face a landscape of confusion and concern. "Sarah," he called gently, his voice cutting through the turmoil bound by my fear for her. "What are you talking about? You wanted this." His tone was a mixture of desperation and misunderstanding that made my heart clench even more. We had spent months, setting our sights on this moment, building and celebrating. Yet there stood the truth, raw and stark. Love wasn't merely about desire. It was also about reality, trust, and the gut-wrenching realization of what one could bear. "I need to think," she murmured, her body recoiling as if struck. The sheer weight of that voiced uncertainty washed over the room. The laughter we had shared earlier felt like a distant echo, swept away by the tide of unresolved doubts. Just then, a quiet voice broke through the cacophony of emotions. It was Jenna, the third musketeer in our trio, ever the glue that held us together. Sarah, it's okay to feel overwhelmed. This is monumental. You don't have to decide right now. Her soft smile held an unyielding kindness, and for a fleeting moment, I could see hope flicker in Sarah's eyes. Yeah, I chimed in, desperate to build on her support. Maybe we can put away the champagne for tonight, focus on what you truly want. No pressure. The tension in the room eased slightly, but an undercurrent of unease still hung like thick smoke. I wanted to scream at Jason, to shake him and demand he show her the love she deserved, the kind that didn't leave her grasping for an escape. But instead, I watched as Sarah turned her gaze from him to me, her expression uncertain yet vulnerable, seeking something she had lost sight of. In the following moments, the party began to shift. Laughter, awkward, shrill, and strangled, was forced, yet it felt like a necessary distraction. A part of me wanted to flee with Sarah, whisk her away from this place filled with expectations and judgment, away from that hallowed wedding date looming over her like a prison sentence. As I sat next to her, my heart raced, echoing the turbulent storm brewing within. What do you want, Sarah? I uttered, my voice cracking under the weight of the moment. Tell me, and I'll fight for you. Nothing could prepare me for what she would say next. I want to find out if I can really be happy, she whispered, her hands trembling as they clutched the delicate remnants of my dress design. In that moment, my heart split in two. How could her happiness be dependent on unraveling the very fabric I had so meticulously sewn? Just as a hint of dawn broke through the cracks of my heart, Jason approached, his hands outstretched, sincerity clashing against confusion. Let's talk this through. Together. But his voice sounded distant, the gravity of Sarah's longing twisted the air thick with tension, stifling the optimism that dared to emerge. Shoving my emotions aside, I watched Sarah brace herself for confrontation, but what came next left my breath caught in my throat. As she opened her mouth to speak, the door swung open. The door I had thought was only meant for guests. Instead, it revealed Jason's sister, Rebecca, her face flushed and panicked. You need to know something, Sarah, she said, words tumbling out like a clumsy jigsaw piece. Fear coursed through the room, the very air electric with the unspoken questions that loomed large. What could Rebecca possibly have to say that would shatter this already fragile moment? As her words hung in the air, I felt the tide of uncertainty rise around us, threatening to pull us under. The silence that followed Rebecca's entrance was suffocating, as everyone turned their eyes to her, the gravity of the moment compressing the air around us. I could see the many conflicting emotions dancing in Sarah's eyes: curiosity, anxiety, and a glimmer of hope, all fighting for dominance. But the tension in Jason's jaw and the furrowed brow hinted at the depth of the revelation she was about to deliver. Sarah, Rebecca began, her voice shaking slightly, you should know Jason has been keeping something from you. Each word landed like a stone in the pit of my stomach, heavy and foreboding. My instincts fired, urging me to intervene, to protect Sarah from whatever jagged truth was about to cut into her delicate shell, but I remained frozen, watching as Sarah's confusion morphed into a silent plea for answers. What do you mean? She asked, her voice trembling like a leaf in a storm. Last week, I overheard him talking to someone, a woman. The room collectively inhaled, the tension tightening around us. He was saying things that weren't meant for you, Rebecca continued, her eyes brimming with unshed tears. I think he's not entirely ready for this commitment. Jason's face blanched as he stepped forward, desperation mingling with anger. This is ridiculous. Rebecca, how dare you? How dare I what? Tell the truth, she retorted, her voice breaking with intensity. Sarah deserves to know. The air felt charged as Sarah swayed slightly, her hands clutching the edge of the table, as if it were the only thing anchoring her to this reality.